What is the vision for your business and what are we building? If you are in a struggling bucket or a drowning bucket, you might feel like, dude, I don't have time to talk about vision. Like that feels like a luxury. I don't even really care about that right now. I just have to get out of the situation that I'm in. Here's why vision is actually really important for you. Because you've created something and you're stuck in it and you don't know how to get out of it because you don't have an image of something that is showing you what you need to be moving towards. Hey there, it's Samantha Hartley of the Profitable Joyful Consulting Podcast. This season, we've been talking about all things consulting business success. And you may have heard me refer to my 10 drivers of consulting business success. So, in the background of this show, I kind of have a cataloging system for what I specifically talk about. And each area is something that I've identified as things that move the needle, like a driver or a lever of success. And I finally put together a whole list of these for you. Now, I'm going to be talking about those 10 drivers today and next week. I've broken them into 5 and 5, and I'm going to go through them for you. But before I get into them, I wanted to share that I have a new free resource that I've put together for you. It is a self-assessment where you can figure out what all of the drivers are and then assess yourself, like how your business is doing in each area. And it'll show you the opportunities you have and the gaps you have to close. And I think it's a really kind of a fun and informative document. So you can get that. You can download it at samanthahartley.com/super. That'll be in the show notes, the link to that. It's actually where I have all of the resources from the show, so you may find some other cool things while you're there. Now, the 10 drivers of success. How I came up with these was over the years, I've been working with small businesses, and then I finally began to really specialize in working with consulting businesses because they're kind of unique in that we're selling services. A lot of times, like the product is us, like we are what we do, and we are the thing that we deliver. And we're, sometimes there's one of us or there's a small number of us. And I just saw a lot of commonalities in helping consultants to grow their businesses. Now, the first thing I want to share with you is I tend to see consultants come to me in just like 3 general areas. The first one is a consultant who has been in business for a while, but is still struggling to get traction. And this can be a single person or small consultancies. I've worked with, 3 to 5 principal consultants before. So they've come together, but their business still doesn't really have the traction that they want it to have. It means they're just not they're under earning. The structure of the business maybe isn't what it needs to be for them to be both profitable and joyful. So that's really the first category of consultants I see. The second one is those who are earning, but they have some traction, but they're still stuck on the revenue roller coaster. It means that they can have a really good month, even as high as like 100K month, right? But the months after that will not always sustain that amount. And so they're just experiencing these kind of like exhilarating highs, but these terrifying lows. And that unpredictability in business makes it very hard to settle in and feel comfortable. And it's hard really to kind of grow and relax and thrive and flourish. So when consultants come to me on the revenue roller coaster, there's a few specific things that I do, and that's what I'm going to talk about in these drivers. The last category is the consultant who seems like they're so successful to everyone else. So they are drowning in client work and they have all of the clients they need or want. And the one thing that they don't have is like the time and capacity to be able to grow the business, right? There's like a ceiling stuck on the business because there's just no place for new clients to go. And while it might seem like, oh, well, that's my dream, right? I want to be booked solid or I want to have tons of clients. We don't want to limit ourselves to like, well, what if you're trapped at the $300,000 mark or the $150,000 or the $900,000 mark? Wherever they are on the path to 2 million, that number isn't the ultimate number that they want to be earning. They want more than that, but they can't get unstuck from that situation. So those are the 3 categories that most consultants are in when they come to me. And you'll probably, having heard that, identify with being in one or maybe more of those groups. And I created the 10 drivers to specifically address when consultants are in that situation. So I'm going to go through the first 5 of the drivers, and I'll tell you when this is a really good driver for you to focus on, when it's like top of mind for you in your business. And then if you take the self-assessment, you'll also see, this is the time when I need to address whichever driver is the most appropriate and fitting. So the first driver that I'm going to get into is vision. What is the vision for your business and what are we building? If you are in a struggling bucket or a drowning bucket, you might feel like, dude, I don't have time to talk about vision. Like that feels like a luxury. I don't even really care about that right now. I just have to get out of the situation that I'm in. Here's why vision is actually really important for you. Because you've created something and you're stuck in it and you don't know how to get out of it because you don't have an image of something that is showing you what you need to be moving towards. So when clients come to me and they're like, the business that I can't stand my business, like I don't, these clients, I'm either like bored of it or sometimes worse, like I'm really sick of this thing. They could have been drowning in it. A lot of times somebody will come to me, they'll have been drowning in a business and they'll have pushed a lot of those clients away. So now they're in like terror about not enough revenues. That is a time for that I will ask them, would you go and create the vision for your business? And you'll remember I've done videos about this, so I'll link to those here. But going through a visioning process and actually clarifying for yourself what you do want, what you are building, what reconnecting with like maybe why you started this in the first place or where you want to be going with the business now, where forward, what's the path forward. So when you find yourself stuck in something that's not working for you, sometimes it's because I'm not clear on the thing that I'm building. Now, if you feel like I am clear and I'm still like, then that's another driver for you. Okay. So the question you want to ask yourself here is, uh, are you clear on the business that you're building, why you're building it? And is the business that you're in right now a fulfillment of that, or is it not? That's the first driver. The second driver, and this will sound really familiar to you, is the biggest determiner of profit and joy in a business, right? It's clients, perfect clients. You have to be working with perfect clients. And just as we create a vision for our perfect business, we create a profile or an avatar that describes clearly our perfect clients. Now, why do I need to have something outside myself? Like, I know a perfect client when I see one. We know them when we see one. But what you are doing is teaching yourself and sometimes referral partners and colleagues who's a perfect client for you so that they recognize them and send them to you. And for ourselves, sometimes when we have that kind of feeling inside ourselves of like, I don't know a perfect client when I see them, somebody comes along and you're like, I'm excited. I like her. This seems really great. And then you work with them and you're like, oh, I didn't remember to ask about this, this, and this. And it didn't occur to me that this actually isn't a fit for my services, et cetera, right? Do you see what I mean? So really having that formal written down profile, it helps us to attract perfect clients to ourselves and it helps us to turn away or turn down imperfect clients, poor fit clients when they show up and we're like, no, that's not right. We have to have the courage to turn them down. And going through the perfect client process will actually embolden you to have courage when the wrong fit client comes along. Okay, so the question on that one is everyone that you're working with a perfect client? Had somebody say to me, are all your clients perfect? I mean, you really love all your clients? Because I was telling her that she needs to be working with perfect clients. And I said, yeah, every single one of my clients, every single one that I work with is a perfect fit for my services. Exactly what they need is exactly what I do. Now, do I love them all? It's kind of a high standard, right? I don't know that love is the category that we're looking for here. What I am looking for is joy. Do I enjoy working with them? Yes. Do I need to go on vacation with them? Maybe not necessarily, right? Focus on exactly what they need is exactly what you do. And you enjoy working with them because it's fulfilling. They appreciate you, they value you, they pay you joyfully and on time. Like those are the qualities that you're looking for. Love, I mean, I'd say love is a bonus. Now, do I love a lot of my clients? Absolutely. I'm excited to get on the phone with them. I have a great time working with them. And I actually might go on vacation with them. When we meet in person, I'm delighted to meet and enjoy them in person. So I'd say love is a bonus, but definitely perfect fit and joy are not optional. The third driver is brand and messaging. Now, my former corporate self needs to say, but you need to start with brand. So, what are the elements of brand? Brand contains within itself target audience, right? So, we've already kind of pre-covered some of the elements that are required in brand. Brand and message. So, the brand is your business identity. It's who you work with and what you do for them, the outcomes that you get for them. It's what you're known for or known as. It is the visual identity that you present to your clients. It is everything. Everything communicates. And when you have a brand, all of the aspects of it are sending messages to your perfect clients and perfect potential clients that you're the one for them. So, what kind of posts you do, what kind of marketing materials you create, what kind of website you have, all of those things are part of affirming the business identity and communicating your business identity. Now, I'm including messaging in here, so that really makes this a pretty big driver because brand and message are a lot. They're a big component, but they both do the same job, which is explaining, teaching, sharing, uh, differentiating for your potential clients who you are and what you do for them. And for current clients, I've many years ago, I wrote something that was kind of surprising even to myself. I was like, when does marketing stop? And I thought, well, marketing is the process of like value identification. That's when we figure out what is the thing that you do that everyone needs. And in order to do that, we need to figure out who are those potential clients and what would you do for them. And so who needs that? So value identification is part one. Value communication, that's what all of marketing is, right? And then I thought, well, then aren't we done? But we really aren't because delivery, and I'm going to come to delivery a little bit later, value delivery is also part of marketing because you're being the brand. So if brand and message is making a promise, the experience of working with you is delivering on that promise. So that's brand and message. So what I need you to think about are, am I known for, do I have a distinct identity? And am I known in the market for that identity? Do my perfect clients and potential clients know how to talk about what I do in ways that communicate the value and would entice other colleagues of theirs to come and work with me? That's what you want to use as a measure. Do all of the messages that you share in the market, intentionally and unintentionally, by the way, all of the ways that you're sharing on LinkedIn, social media, if you do presentations, speeches, all the ways that you show up in the world for potential clients, are they all aligned around a single, clear, compelling business identity? That's the test of this driver. So the next one, strategic visibility. Now, I have had whole shows on strategic visibility. So this one is really important. We don't need to be everywhere in the entire world, ubiquitous. Ubiquity would be exhausting for someone like us. We're not the Coca-Cola company, we're not Apple. We don't need to be everywhere, but we do need to be in all of the places where your perfect potential clients expect to see someone like you and could find you. Where are they gathering and looking for something like what you do? Or where are they gathering and we can be present and suggest, communicate messages that get their attention so they know where to find you. That's the job of strategic visibility. So why is it strategic? Because it's not ubiquity. It's not we have to be everywhere. It's that we need to be in certain places where they are. And what is visibility? It's everything from you showing up on video in networking situations, at events where they expect to see you, on social media, and even to things like appearing in their inbox when your newsletter or follow up email appears in someone's inbox. That's you being visible when you reaching out through a DM, when you sending a handwritten thank you note, or any of the myriad ways that you can be visible with someone. That's all visibility opportunities. So think expansively about what those are and then be strategic with them because we can't do all the things. So what are the things that you can do to be visible? Having said this, I would say all of us are about 50% as visible as we should be. So if you can think of someone on social media or in general media, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of seeing You're the opposite. You are probably getting messages from people in your audience of like, oh, I didn't know you. Oh, so and so said that you did so and so, and I didn't know you. I didn't even know you existed. I've never heard of you until now. So if you have ever heard that best kept secret kind of thing, which is super annoying, then that means it's time to be more visible. So it's a growth edge for most people in that we need to be courageous and push ourselves just beyond the boundary of comfort because that's probably how visible you need to be. Now, the last one of these that I'm going to talk about today, we have talked about your own identity, what we want to create in the world, working with perfect clients, being more visible. And when you bring everyone to you, there is an opportunity to invite them to partake of your services, right? So we want to be able to sell. And I call it selling with integrity because for so many consultants, it's like, the sales piece, the sales piece. I mean, I only occasionally meet other women who also love selling. I love selling. Why do some of us love to sell? Because we understand and we think about it in a way that is different from those who hate selling or think they hate selling because they think selling is something really yucky and distasteful and gross. If I were to share with you that it is figuring out what your potential client needs, doing discovery calls in which we're really discovering, you're not pushing anything, you're discovering like what's going on with you. What are their hopes and dreams? What are their struggles? What do they wish things were like and that they aren't like right now? And when you hear that's actually stuff I know how to help you with, then you can make offers to them. And offering is selling. So I distinguish marketing, which to me is teaching, and offering, that's selling. So someone might say no to me. I think that's for a lot of people what selling feels like is, the potential for rejection. That's terrifying. Well, if it's not a fit for them, it's okay if they say no. So you're going to discern in discovery calls. This is selling with integrity. I'm discerning, is there a fit? If I see a fit and I think, oh, wow, actually, I can help you with that. Here's how I would help you with that. If they then say no, for whatever reason, that's okay. It wasn't meant to be. And your opportunity is to figure out how to sell in alignment with your values. I don't want you to close everybody. This isn't like always be closing. This is invite, select companies, select people to work with you. And if they're a fit, they'll say yes. And if they don't say yes, I want you never to feel like, they should have said yes. I want you to feel like, wasn't a fit. Turned out I thought it was and they didn't. And then we find more. Okay. Having an abundance mentality is part of selling with integrity. Offering with non attachment to the outcome, that's part of selling with integrity. So if you feel like I rock sales or I enroll all of the clients who I think are really, really a perfect fit for my services, that's the standard I want you to look at. If you close only a certain percentage, whereas somebody else thinks they should close like 90%, well, that's not how we do things here. We're looking at, I want you to close everyone who you feel like should be working with you because they're a perfect fit and it would be a joy to work with them. So you can hear that those 5 drivers are thinking about things maybe in different ways than traditionally consultants have thought about how they should do their work. And I want to offer you that when you start to master those drivers, you're going to see different results in your business. You're going to see yourself getting traction. You'll see yourself getting off of the revenue roller coaster, and you'll see that you are able to create capacity so that you're not drowning in your business. So one of the ways that we create capacity is we stop working with the wrong fit clients. Not a value judgment. Everybody's wonderful people, but some people are not your client. And so in part 2 of this, when I talk about the next 5 drivers, we'll get a little more into ways to create capacity in your business. Before I do, I just want to share with you, I had a client recently say to me, Sam, I'm off the roller coaster. And I almost burst into tears because I knew how important this was to him. And I knew what work and what courage it had required to get off the revenue roller coaster. You have to propose different things. You have to sell differently. You have to choose clients with a different selection criteria. So I want to offer you, I won't say promise, even though I feel like I can promise, but I want to offer you, because I know people are skeptical about this, that it is possible to smooth out the revenue roller coaster, to create capacity in your business, and to get on the path to 2 million, wherever along that path you choose to be. More on that in the next episode. And if you haven't yet, be sure to visit samanthahartley.com/super and download the list of the 10 drivers and take the self-assessment and find out how you're doing in your business against the 10 drivers. All right. And with that, I am wishing you a profitable and joyful consulting business. I'll see you in the part 2 episode. Thanks for watching. I'd appreciate if you'd like this episode, and if you enjoyed the show, why not subscribe? Be sure to click the bell to get notified when new episodes drop.